Hello. I am here to tell you that there is freedom at your fingertips that you probably don't even know is there. Oh my goodness. It's the 4th of July today. If you're watching this live here in the States, we are celebrating Independence Day. And so I thought it would be such an amazing opportunity to jump in and talk about the freedom that you can find in your business. If you want the show notes from today, comment below with the word freedom. Yay. It's so good to see you. My name is Molly Mahoney. I'm here with BeLive TV every Wednesday. Today is no exception. And today, really, I just have loved putting this content together for you today. We have 5 big old juicy strategies, ideas, concepts, insights that we're going to be talking about, all about freedom and how you can find more freedom in your life and freedom in your business. And I am going to sit up straight because I can't fit my big face with my little hat on in this camera. It's so great to see you. I know that it is a holiday for many of you. I also know that we have a really international audience. So I think it's really cool that probably many of you are all over the world. So you may have business as usual today. For the people who are here in the States, most of us have today off. And so that's why we're doing this video a little bit earlier today than we usually do. We're usually here at noon. And it is just awesome to see you. What's on your head? Yes, Melissa. Okay, so I found this. Let's talk about freedom right away. I found this at Target. And I have to just say that I was super stoked that Target decided to create I think it's like a Lady Liberty crown in my brand colors. It matches my wall. And I thought, wow, that's one way that I can start with freedom. I had a red, white, and blue dress on that was actually really cute and had a bunch of popsicles on it. But I was like, you know what? That's not really my brand colors. So I went with, instead of red, white, and blue, I went with hot pink, teal, and white. Hot red, white, hot pink, white, and teal. I don't know. Oh my goodness. It's so good to see you. Thank you for being here. Janine. Hello. Shirley. Hello. Beth. Good to see you. Mimi. Freedom. Yes. Hello. Kim Doll. So good. Angie. Oh, yay. Angie. I'm going to talk about some stuff that I know you love today too. Super cool. Okay. So we are going to jump in. I'm going to keep this on. Can I talk to you about the freedom of my set and the fact that this light switch is in the way? So I decorated it with a little, our babysitter gave us this little Paris thing. I used to have a whole set behind me, but this wall is so awesome. Oh my goodness. Okay. So we have so much we're going to cover today. This is really good stuff that we're talking about today. And really, I just want to empower you to know that there's so much more available that you may not even realize is there. And today that's really the root of what we're talking about today is how you can find more freedom in your business so that you can make not only a business that you love, but a life that you love. And so with BeLive TV, which is so cool, they've given us some new options today. Let me see. Oh, shiitake mushroom. You know what I didn't think about? Dang it. They have, okay, well, we're going to have to do another video because they have frames available for 4th of July today, but I had already pre-scheduled this and selected my frame. So obviously I can't do it now. But if you create a broadcast today with BeLive, the tool that I'm using right now, I was such a prepared performer that I couldn't do it. If you create a broadcast today with BeLive, you'll be able to add fireworks to your broadcast. They did it last year as well, and it was so much fun. So make sure that if you're not using BeLive, make sure that you get a BeLive. You can get a free trial. Start it today so that you can actually use those fireworks, which are pretty cool. And if you don't know how to do that, when you comment below with the word freedom to get access to our show notes, then you'll also get access to the free trial. Hello. So good. All right. So, and if you love freedom, if you want more freedom in your business and your life, share this. Yes. Share. If you love you some freedom. All right. And I want to also admit and just recognize the fact that most of us, I'm sure you probably are, most of the people who are here have businesses. I'm assuming you have a business. If you have a business, comment below with the word biz. If you don't, I want to know what you're doing here and how you're using these strategies, because I know these strategies are good for all sorts of things. But Usually we're pretty business focused here on Wednesdays at BeLive TV. So good to see you guys. Hi. Okay, so if you let me know down below whether you have a business or if you're here for another reason, maybe a nonprofit, or maybe you're some sort of artist or performer, which I think that's, really in the essence of it is a business as well. And I want to say most of us have started our businesses because of wanting more freedom. Right? We want freedom in our time. We want freedom in our income so that we can, for me, it's about going on having a life of an adventure, knowing that I can pick up anytime and go work from anywhere that I want. If that's something that inspired you to have your own business, then give me a heck yes in the comments, because what I see happen, and I know it's happened to me, it probably has happened to you, is that we started with that in mind. We started wanting more freedom in our lives. That's why we did this. And then we find ourselves stuck in this place. And it's like, I talk about busy balls a lot, but this is like those busy boomerangs, right? We get past this and then it comes back. So all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, I'm working harder now than I was when I was working for the man or whatever, right? Or maybe you still have you're still transitioning a little bit and you find yourself in a place where you're like, what on earth? How am I ever going to actually get to the place where that freedom exists? And if you're someone who is fully running your own business, and maybe as a solopreneur, I like the term expertpreneur. So you are using your expertise as a service or as an offering. I think that is when it can be the hardest, because you love what you do. And when you love what you do, it's hard to set boundaries and it's hard to create the space for freedom. And the problem is when you don't create that space, you don't actually have the room to grow. So if you really want to be able to grow, you have to find more room for that freedom, for the space, for the opportunity for new things to come in, right? Oh my gosh. Okay. So this is really what we're going to talk about today. And I have these in an order, and I'm going to switch the order up. So pay no attention to the numbers on here, because the numbers don't really matter. My husband has freedom today and he's coming into my office right now. Hello? I wish I could have shown you that. There's a window right here, and he just walked up to the door and just stood there looking in the window. I don't know what he was looking for. Now he hears me. Okay, it's a holiday, so everyone's home. So sometimes Charlie, my little one, pops in here and does all sorts of crazy things. Okay, and you know what I want to know actually too, before we jump into this, I want to know what your plans are today. Are you here in the States celebrating the 4th of July, or are you somewhere else? Yesterday, I had a conversation with several people, excuse me, who are in my Camera Confidence program. And do we have any Cam Fam members here? Let me know if you're in the Cam Fam with our hashtag. Hey, Cheryl. And I sent this message to 5 new members who joined us last week. And they, it turned out we had people in Iceland, England, and Australia all in one chat conversation. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. So I know there's so many people here at BeLive that are using this tool all over the world, which is super cool. Cheryl, happy 4th of July. Hooray. All right. Yes, Cam Fam. I love it. All right. And one more shout out we're going to do for the Mall Stars. If you're a Mall Star, give me that in the comments too. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Let's jump into this. And then you guys can get back to celebrating with your fireworks and such. All right. So number 1, even though it says number 2, is your mindset. So we have to come to a point where we realize it's possible, because if you try to start this and you try to add more freedom into your business or more freedom into your life, and your mindset is not in check, it's not going to happen, because you are going to re-talk yourself back into the position that you were in before. And I have been working, I mean, this is something that I have kind of prided myself on. Prided, is that a word? I don't know. On being more positive. Like my whole life, I have a tendency to veer towards the positive. And this is something that I have hardcore worked on this year. So I have a coach that I work on with this, and I'm going to share some tips from her. Her name is Felicia, and she has an amazing meditation that I'm going to share with you as well. So yes, so many of you are going live. I love it. Oh, and Cheryl's going to the lake. So good. So good. And Cambria, no, I'm getting off topic, hanging with neighbors and then walking to the park to watch the fireworks. I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh, Melissa has a broken ankle. Melissa, you have freedom. I'm so glad that you're here to be able to be with us. Okay, so your mindset. So here's what has to happen. If you don't allow yourself to combat like the negative thoughts, the gremlins, the dragons, even not even just like little gremlins, they're like dragons that come at you sometimes. And what they're working with Felicia, what I've really begun to realize is that those dragons, it's like the same dragon that creeps up and tries to stop you from committing to whatever it is that's going to give you that extra freedom in your life. It creeps up and it wears a different mask. So sometimes it's in like maybe talking about my awesome, lovely, amazing husband who I love so much. Maybe it's a conversation that you have with a spouse that keeps coming up that you're like, this is the one thing that keeps getting in my way, this conversation that we keep having. Or maybe it's it is like family, I keep going to family stuff. Maybe it's like, okay, here's a good one. Ooh. Maybe it's client stuff where it's like clients are dropping the ball on something that they need to get you, or scope creep, that kind of thing is happening. And you're like, this is the one thing that keeps me. I can't have freedom because this thing keeps happening. Once this thing is solved, guess what? That thing is the same dragon. It's just wearing a different mask. I am serious about this. It's like the horse of a different color. You think it's changing, but it's actually just that same thing trying to pull you back to where you've been before. So we have to commit. There's a song in the musical Big Fish, which I actually have a flyer for it sitting right there. I'm not going to go get it. But there's a song from the musical Big Fish called Fight the Dragons. And I think we need to fight the dragons. We've got to like really make a commitment that when those things creep up, however they show up, we say, thank you for your opinion. Thank you for coming into my freedom plan. And I'm going to bye and send you away, right? I've shared with some of you that I have this thing that I wear, and this is actually super helpful in the mindset piece. Yes. Cheryl says, so true. Mindfulness, awareness, and choice. We have to choose to be happy. It's a choice. Yes. And this stuff comes back up at us, and then we get to choose. We get to decide, like, am I going to go down this path of, allowing this to take over and more drama, or am I going to treat it? You may have heard me say this before. This bracelet right here, did you see it? It's called a Symbol. I wear it every single day. And the cool thing about it is that it has every single letter inside of this. If you want more information about it, because I'm obsessed with it, comment below with the word Symbol. And what I've done is sometimes I wear more than one, and I'll give it like a different intention for the day. It's not always easy to stay committed to this open mind of possibility. And so what I do is this specific Symbol says the word pop. And here is why. Ooh, Melissa. Yes. Oh my gosh. I love this. Melissa, I want you to share your dragons. She said, I so agree with Molly. The dragons for me there are other sellers in my area. Right. And you know what I'll say to that, Melissa? Do you know how many options I have of where I could go for Starbucks? And I know I should be using a Keep cup and not a paper cup, but how many options do we have for Starbucks? And guess what? There's many options for coffee. There's many options for coffee, and they're everywhere, and they're not going anywhere, right? This is where it's really about. I could go down a whole thing about that dragon, which we're not talking about today. Okay, so here's what I do. When you have a dragon that pops up like that, I want you to see that dragon as a bubble. It's like, it could be a really big bubble. It could be a really little bubble. And then you have a feather. You have a feather in your hand, and you're going to go, boop, and you're going to pop the bubble with a feather. So it's not like you have to be like, this dragon is driving me crazy, right? Which I know we all get there sometimes. Literally see that dragon as a bubble and pop it with a feather. When a bubble pops, it's like, and it goes all over the place, and then come back to focusing on what actually matters, right? Ooh, Cheryl just said something. And Cheryl, guess what? Cheryl just mentioned number 4 on our list. Boundaries. We're going to get there. Yes. She said, establish boundaries against the toxic energy people love from a distance. So good. Janine, bulletproof coffee is my husband's favorite. Yeah, totally. So we have a choice, right? Oh my gosh, Kim. Okay. So Kim said, make my own coffee. I save money that way. I want to talk about this coffee thing actually too, which we're going to talk about in a second. This is so funny. Okay. So then after you commit to the mindset piece, you commit to you make the decision that you are Committing to a life of freedom, whatever that means to you, you have to actually decide what it means to you. So you have to set your own vision. And if you're not clear about what you actually want, other things are going to take over. You're going to go back to old habits. You're not going to create that freedom in your business is going to get lost. It can't come to the surface. So I have a few things about this where I'm going to help you to be able to identify what you actually want. And I'm going to bring Felicia up again here, and just because this is something I've worked on with her as well. She actually has an amazing meditation that helps you to connect with your vision. If you want access to that, comment below with the word meditation. I am going to come back individually and get it to you. I'll also have a link for it in the show notes, but that one is like a really good one that I just want you to have. So if you want that, comment with meditation and I'll come back personally. Okay, so with this vision thing, here is what you have to do. You have to get really clear about what it is that you want. And this is what Felicia teaches. And at first, when she taught me this, I was like, ugh. And Kelly and I used to make jokes about it all the time. But now it's like our favorite thing to say to each other. Are you ready for this? You're going to ask yourself, what would I love? So when you're in a position where you're thinking, when a dragon comes up, and you ask yourself, what would I love? When you're struggling with a dragon, like, how do I handle this? What would I love? And then literally tap into what would I love? And sometimes what I've realized is what we would love is actually sitting right in front of our face. We're just not recognizing that it's there. So one example that I'm actually going to share with you, and this is tip number 2. If you comment below with the word freedom, you'll get access to the show notes, and I'll make sure these tips are actually in order. Tom Birchall, one of our awesome Cam fam members, helps me write these show notes up. So Tom, we're switching these things around. Okay, so here is an example. And this is perfect with the coffee thing. So for a long time, I love that you're here, by the way. I just want to say thank you for being here. Thank you, Jamie, Lisa, Cheryl. Okay, so I love coffee. And I have a coffee machine here. For some weird reason, regular, normal coffee gives me super bad heartburn ever since having kids. So I have to have espresso. It seems like snooty, but if I don't have espresso, I get really bad heartburn. So we have an espresso machine here that is like great. And then I had this moment where I was like, you know what? Like, really, what would I love? I would love to have Starbucks every day. I go through phases. Right now, I'm in a phase where I really would love to have Starbucks every day. And then I was like, and I would love to be able to walk to a coffee shop. And I remember standing in my front yard. This is a really good lesson. I was standing in my front yard and I was like, I miss New York, because I used to live in New York City. In New York, I could walk and get coffee anywhere. I could walk and work anywhere. There were all of these places to walk to. And I was like, man, what a bummer that there's nowhere that I can walk here besides like a liquor store on the corner, which I do walk to sometimes just for the sake of walking. So I'm like, whatever. Then I'm thinking, I really need to be working out more. I've not been working out as much as I used to because now business has taken off. I've prioritized working. I have to get my kids to school. My husband works also. There's just not time in my day to work out. And then I had a total epiphany. I'm sitting there in my front yard thinking, man, I wish that I could walk somewhere. Man, I wish that I could have Starbucks. Man, I wish that I was working out more. And I realized there's a Starbucks that's a 30-minute walk from here. So what did I do? It's like many of you have seen me do this walk because I do Facebook Lives on the walk. But the possibility to solve all 3 of those things that I was wishing for was right there under my nose. Totally possible. So I get my kids to school earlier. And I make the choice that I'm going to walk to Starbucks to get what I want. So what is something, I want to workshop this. What is something that you think in your head, like, man, I wish I had blah, blah, blah. And I want to brainstorm ways for you to actually realize that it's more possible than you think. Okay. And so like recognizing that with your vision, when you're setting your vision, you also, back to the mindset piece, you have to be open to the fact that you may not know the path to get to that goal. So you have to be committed to the end result, but open to the path to get there. And oftentimes we see one path, either because we've had a coach or we've had a team member or we've had somebody that we follow who's an inspiration to us. We see that one path and we're not recognizing there's ways to bring your unique self, your unique life, your unique energy into the path. And it's one of the reasons when I teach Facebook Live stuff that like we're doing right now, right? That I'm so big about you knowing that it's you that's going to make the difference in this. It's your unique thing that's going to make it work. And people are going to challenge you on it. I had someone who's really well-respected and like influential and an awesome mentor and very like has some opportunities that I would really love to be able to take advantage of in the online business space. Tell me yesterday, and he was so kind in the way that he said it, but he said that he's had people who were worried about having me speak at an event because they were worried that I was like a caricature and not an authentic human being. And I have to tell you, if someone had said that to me maybe a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, I probably would have cried. But when this was said to me yesterday, I was like super grateful for the information and super solid in the fact that I know I bring crazy goofiness to the videos that we do here. And I know that it really works for some people. It's not going to work for everybody, but more than anything, it ties into my vision and it is exactly who I am as an actual human. So the more that you veer from who you are as an actual human and you stop asking yourself, what would I love? You're going to find yourself in a place where that freedom is crushed. You're not, and this, it happens like you get an idea and you think like, oh, this path is the right way to go. Like this is a great opportunity. And sometimes you get down that opportunity and you've built it out and you're like, holy smokes, I can't handle this. Right? So you have to start with, okay, what do I actually want? And make sure that you tap back into that because there's all sorts of like, FOMO stuff going on also. Okay. Yes. Bo, I love it. So let's share what you want. Okay. Oh, April, so good to see you here. Bo says enough discretionary income personal to escape to my home away from home in Hawaii where I lived. So good. And so having that really clear vision of that, Bo, and if you know exactly what that discretionary income looks like, amazing, right? So awesome. Right? Excuse me. Yes, don't change your message, change your audience. So don't change Tamar, hooray. So don't change your vision, right? That's like the thing that you are. Don't change it. Maybe it's a slightly different path that you need to take. And that brings us back to that mindset thing again. Okay, we're going to go to the third step, which is time. So when we're talking about dragons and the things that get in the way of our freedom, tell me, and I was trying to say, raise your hand. So raise your hand. Do you know how to do like a little hand emoji? I always worry when I ask for emojis that it's too hard and confusing, but give me an emoji, some sort of whatever. If time is an issue for you, because time is like, it's gotten a lot better, but it has been in my life, the number one thing that has been the dragon keeping me from a real sense of freedom. So, oh, Sherry, I love the nuggets. Thank you. Guys, let's do some nugget sharing here. I like it. If you notice a nugget, give it to me. Yes. Oh, Ariana, so good. She says, I've been really coming into that. My friend told me recently that she loved seeing more relaxed and authentic on my lives. So good. I love that. Okay, Melissa, raising her hand. Perfect. High five. Shirley. Okay, so time. I have some really cool time tips because what happens is we look at the time that we're in right now. And many of you know that I'm doing this 90-day year program, which is super awesome. And when you first start doing this 90-day year, which is a system that allows you to be more focused on the things that matter so you can hit higher level goals in your business. And actually many of you participated in the free version of the 90-day year. So this is actually really good for you too. Because in order to get to the place where you're being really productive and you really have an awesome, clear plan, you have to set aside time to get the prep work in ahead of time, right? And when you look at your calendar and you're like, great, I am booked for 74 hours every day. So good one, that's not going to work, right? So then our attitude comes back about it. Our mindset is like, F you, Father Time. Like there's no way you're going to fit in. Yeah. we have to scratch that. So I'm going to give you a couple of opportunities. One is look at your calendar and I do this so often. Look at your calendar and literally, what can I delete? What can I delete? I'm about like these repetitive questions. What would I love? What would I love? What would I love? What can I delete? What can I delete? And see, what can I delete? And then put a block holding that space for yourself in there, right? If like the next week or 2 or 3 or whatever it is are so booked that you can't find that extra time, here's what I do. I go, and this I got from my amazing friend and has been an awesome organization and like systems coach for me, Diane Halfman. She says, look 3 weeks ahead and start blocking the time there. So you have to start living in the future as if the life that you want right now, like the life that you want is already there. Like it's already created in the calendar in the future. Yes. Melissa. Yes. So go into your calendar and set aside that time. Yes. Oh, Cheryl, amazing. That would be so good. I would love that. Cheryl says that she has to schedule us for the Live Positive show at Jeff Adams. I love Jeff and Live Positive. It's so good. We actually have something really cool that we do too, Cheryl, which I would love to talk about with Jeff, called Stand for Joy. So with this Zimble thing that we have going on, I'm off topic really quick. I promise I'll come back on. With Zimble, this symbol that I love so much, which this one says pop, to remind me to pop my negative thoughts with a bubble and come back to what matters. This whole thing started for me with a nonprofit that I've launched. I haven't actually launched it, but that I'm putting together called Stand for Joy. If you want to follow the Stand for Joy Facebook page, it's just nothing but positive quotes. Comment below with this. Let me show you. Well, if you want Zimble, more info about Zimble, comment with that. I'm going to come back and respond to all of these comments. This is my 4th of July. Give me a stand for joy down below, and I'll share the Facebook page with you. Also, all of these links, in case I actually don't get to everyone's comments, when you comment with freedom, the BeLive bot will message you, say, reply to this message with the word freedom. When you reply with the message with the word freedom, you'll get access to the show notes, and all of these links will be in there. Okay, so far we've talked about how important it is to actually set a really clear vision. We've talked about, and you have to ask yourself, what would I love? Also, we've talked about the mindset piece and how if you don't actually have the courage to stay focused on what's possible and what's positive and to release those dragons without having to fight them off, just be like, goodbye, dragons, right? Or fly with me, dragons. We could invite the dragons to come along, right? And come back to what matters. This isn't going to work. Okay, time. 2 really big time tips that we shared were, 1, go through your calendar and say, what can I delete? What can I delete? What can I delete? And the other one is go be a time traveler. Go into the future and block that time off. Even if you don't know exactly what's going to go in there. What I did recently, I went into the future and I blocked off 90-day year, 90-day year, 90-day year, because I know the 90-day year means that I'm working on my business. So, and when you get to a point where you have lots of clients and customers, sometimes it's hard to actually focus on your own business. It's like the cobbler's shoes, right? So you have to make sure that you're setting aside that time. All right. And this leads us into dun, 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 boundaries. Hey, boundaries. How you doing? This is a tough one, right? And oftentimes I think that I hope I'm not alone in this, but with the boundaries piece, it's like we fight. We're fighting it. We don't want to fight. I mean, okay. So at some point, like with Stand for Joy, I am standing up for the fact that there can be a positive choice. Like you can make a positive choice. When negative things happen, you can make a positive choice to move things forward rather than fighting and keeping them negative. But when you do that, when you set these boundaries, there has to be strength in it. There has to be a groundedness in it, but you don't have to be defensive and you don't have to fight it. And because these are usually things that we have our own internal like about, right? Oh, Janine. Yes, we were talking about this yesterday. I've totally forgot about that. You have to know where your boundaries lie and you have to do it with love. And this is another thing from Felicia, which remember, if you want access to her meditation, just comment with meditation and I'll come back and get you that link. And it's a meditation that helps you to get closer to really get clear about your vision. The boundaries We have, okay, this is so juicy. So good. If you, not if, when you set your boundaries so that you can fully commit to what you would love, this is from Felicia. When you set your boundaries to fully commit to what you would love, you are doing the best possible thing for the entire world, not just for you. Our boundaries often feel like a selfish thing. It's not selfish. It's you literally living into, and this might get a little woo-woo, but it's you living, and maybe this might get a little woo-woo. I don't want to say that as a bad thing, right? This might be you living, this not might be. This, I want to be really clear about this. This is you living into the most amazing possibility. And like, this is why I love coaching on video and helping people. Like, we have this awesome program called Glam. That's a higher level coaching program that I run with my team, Kelly and Elizabeth. And it's awesome because, and the reason that I think it's so awesome is, yes, people get awesome results in their business, but the real thing is that we're helping people to tap into who they really are. And you have, when you are clear about what you really want, what you really love, and you set those boundaries so that you can actually get it, it is not a selfish act. It's actually the most giving, wonderful thing that you could do. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm reading your comments now. So if you will commit, because that's the next tip, is that you have to commit to it. So you don't have to share if you're not comfortable sharing, but if you are comfortable sharing, I think that when you share this stuff, it makes it even more powerful. So if you can share, like, what's a boundary that you'll set? So I will share with you guys. For us, when I love what I do business-wise so much, and we have clients who are in all different time zones, so we get questions like requests, and we're doing a lot of higher level coaching. So this, like, in our courses, the boundaries are clear. Like, all questions go in the Facebook group. But with our private clients, the questions come in different places. So Kelly and I have had to be really clear about setting our boundaries. And like, when we have a really clear time for when requests are made, if we're building something for them, if requests are made, there's a time limit for it. And oftentimes I will, because I care and I love our clients so much, I will make something with 5 minutes to spare because I want to serve them. But recently we've really been recognizing the fact that that is not helping them. And it's obviously not helping us because we're stressing out and then dropping other things for other people, dropping the ball for other people, because we're scrambling to do a last minute request. But it's also not helping our clients because it's not empowering them to know that they can actually prepare ahead of time like they're supposed to, right? So Melissa says, I feel we need to break into song. Melissa, what song? I got a song for you. You request a song and I will sing it. I mean, I've got music. I've got all kinds of things that I can pop on right now. It's rather early in the morning and I didn't do a vocal warm up, but I am here for you, my friend. Okay. Sherry says, when you set your boundaries to what you can fully commit to, you are doing the best thing for the world. Seriously. Okay. The song that just came to mind right there is Heal the World, Make It a Better Place for you and for me and the entire human race. I haven't thought about that song in a long time. Okay. So how do you feel about this? Do you feel like you can put this stuff into action and have more freedom? I have been really jazzed about all of this. I want to know. So tell me, what is a boundary that you can set for yourself? And this doesn't have to be a boundary that you're like to somebody else. It can be a boundary that you're literally just setting this boundary for yourself. And oftentimes we get worked up that we're letting people down. And I hate to break it to you, but they don't care as much as you do. Really, they don't. So stop allowing yourself, like Dana Corey, who was my very first business coach. She said, save the drama, like save the drama for the stage. We can't allow ourselves to get caught up in this, like, because there's some sort of adrenaline rush that happens when we do that. But let's have an adrenaline rush because we're stoked on our success rather than caught in the drama. Okay. Ariana says, stick to my office hours and agreements made with my family. Also request for support. Yes, from family. I need to hold them and me accountable. Seriously, that's another thing too, Ariana. Like the same thing with me and walking to Starbucks. Like that was possible. This happens to us with childcare sometimes too. Like we have babysitters that we hire, and my mom lives about an hour away. My dad lives about 15 minutes away. So my dad actually watches the boys more than anyone in our family, my dad and my stepmom, which is amazing. But they're also like, my dad owns his own business. He's like I want to have my dad on the show sometime because my dad is the most successful business owner. I mean, obviously I know people who are more successful than him, but his story is like the coolest story of creating your own business. And he started his business in a closet at my grandparents' house. He never went to college, and it's like amazing. So I'm going to have him on the show sometime. Pick his brain. And so with childcare, like sometimes it's hard and we're like, what are we going to do? We don't have anybody to go to. And then I realized like, I actually do have a million people I could go to, but I just keep thinking it's going to be a burden. So like my aunt and uncle are going to be watching the boys in a little bit. And like a couple weeks from now, and they're so excited about it, but I am stuck in my own dragon thinking this is going to be a problem when really they're out there begging to help, like wishing they could help us. Hey now, Jeff Adams, we've been talking about you. Yes, allowing for help, Cherie, totally. Oh, Ariana, I'm so glad you said this. She said, stick to my word and my agreement of myself and my biz with my family. So my husband actually said something so smart to me once. If he can hear me, I think he's standing right outside the door. We were laying in bed one night and we were talking about our days, whatever. So I was like stressing about time and calendar stuff. Oh my gosh, I just remembered I forgot a huge tip on time I was going to give you. Jeepers creepers. Okay, one more really big tip coming after this. So my husband is like, Molly, why don't you just tell the truth? What a novel concept, right? When it comes to setting boundaries, just tell the truth. And Brene Brown, this is an amazing Brene Brown quote. So these are the last two tips I'm going to give you. Brene Brown said, I heard this in her book, The Power of Vulnerability. I've been listening to it on tape and it's real good. And she said, she has a mantra, which is that she chooses discomfort over resentment. If you really want to achieve freedom, choosing discomfort over resentment is an amazing way to get there, because oftentimes we say yes to things that we don't actually want to do, where it's not actually possible for us to do them. And then we get to the place where we're supposed to be doing that thing and we're resenting the thing or the person the whole time, when really it was our decision that we made. Right? Happy 4th of July, Mike. Do you like this? Yes. Mary says, my family never understands. Good to see you, Mary, by the way. This is actually a job that I love. Right? So you have to hold true in that. And if there's that comes up there, just be like, I love you. And then go back to what you need to focus on. Okay. The other time tip that I forgot to share is a really awesome, and you know what? I even had this one written down, a really awesome tip that I had from The Big Leap, which is a book by Gay Hendricks. And it's so good and it's so short. And I was just talking about it in a podcast and a review that I did recently. And I'm like going to recommit to reading this. So remember, if you want these show notes, y'all comment with freedom down below. I'm going to leave that up. Okay. The book is The Big Leap. And there's a whole chapter on time, and it's called Einstein Time. Have you heard of Einstein Time before? It's real good. And it is a way to recognize that freedom is already right there. I was going to say at your fingertips, and then I thought at your watch, like in your clock on your watch, if you have a watch on. Okay. So time, we know that time is relative, right? And so this whole concept is named after Einstein and his relativity. Leanne, oh my goodness, I love you, my friend. Leanne says she loves The Big Leap. Hooray. So good to see you. Okay, so here is the magic of Einstein Time. I use this sucker literally every single day. And if you want to be a hero in the lives of all of your friends, share this video because this one tip could totally change their life. Okay, so here's what it is. Think about I want to compare two different activities. One is, and I'm talking about my husband a lot today, but this is a conversation that he and I have all the time because he's like, why would you even want to think about doing that? But think about it for a second. So imagine taking your hand, do this with me. I know I can't see you, but I'm going to pretend that you're doing this with me. I'm not going to pretend. I'm going to see that you are doing this with me. So do it with me and we'll all do it together. Take your hand like this and this right here. And I want you to take your hand and pretend that you put it on a stove and the stove is really hot. What do? You move your hand off right away, right? Every millisecond of your hand on that stove feels like an hour. Yeah. So if you try to put your hand there and you left it there, it's like, oh my God, this is so long. You take it off, right? Now, when you are saying goodbye, now clear that memory. Okay. Notice how time felt like it was taking forever when you did that. Now, conversely, imagine that you are at the airport and, oh my gosh, you know what? I have several clients recently whose kids are going off into the service. So this is like our role playing. So first of all, especially today on the 4th of July, I want to thank them and their kiddos. And imagine what it would be like to send your child off to their, they're going off to be in the service. Like you're proud, but also you want that moment to last forever. Like you have your arms wrapped around your child and you never want to let them go. So how is it that the same 2 seconds can feel like this isn't long enough and this is way too long, right? So we actually have the power to expand and crush time. I'm just going to let that sit there for a second. Oh, Janine, don't do that. Okay, so you literally have the time, the power to expand and crush time. Yes, seriously, you do. So here's what I mean. So when, like, for example, I'm getting ready for today's video. I think I'm like Einstein time. I tell myself Einstein time. Oh my gosh, I could have another symbol that is a watch that just says it's Einstein time. It doesn't matter what time it is right now. It's Einstein time. So, I'm going to be like covered in symbols by the time this year is over. Think of all of the mantras I want to have. Yes, Jason. Jason says, nugget, mind blown. I'm so glad that you're here. Okay. Jason has an awesome show that is Doing It with Jason. It said like doing it with Jason, but there's a G there. Doing It with Jason. Okay, Nugget, you have the power to crush and expand time. So when I was getting ready for this show today, we usually do our shows here at noon Pacific, but we kind of sometimes go back and forth depending on what's happening in the world or schedule or when our guests can make it on. So today we're at 9, which is early-ish, right? Our kids are not in school today. My husband's not working today. This morning, I was going to take a shower before coming in to do this video, and he was going to go to Starbucks, which is awesome. So I'm like, Charlie, I set the TV up for Charlie. Frankie was still sleeping. And I was like, I'm going to go take a shower. So I go to take the shower and Charlie's like, Mama, I need you. And my husband's like, dude, I'm right here. I can help you. And he's like, no, I need Mama. I need Mama. So I get out, I like leave the bedroom, come in and I'm like, what's up, babe? And he's like, I want fish sticks. Like, you want fish sticks? He's like, I want fish sticks. I'm like, we don't have fish sticks, but we had fish sticks for dinner. They had fish sticks for dinner a couple nights ago. We did not have any left. And he's like freaking out. And I said, buddy, Dado's going to Starbucks. It's going to be awesome. He's bringing you breakfast back. And he's like, I want fish sticks. And meanwhile, I'm like, I love you, child, but are you kidding me? I have to get ready for my BeLive show. So I could have been like, but instead I actually was just like, bud, I got you. So I gave him all these other options of things that he could have to eat. He did not want any of them. And then I sat with him on the couch rather than getting like angry and being like, we don't have time for this. You have to sit down. I have to go take a shower, which when you do that, it actually ends up taking even more time because you're adding to the drama of it, right? So I was like, come here, bud. And I got on the couch and I had a major cuddle fest, which in the laws of regular time would not have made sense because I didn't actually have time to do that. Or did I? So by taking the time to have a little cuddle fest with Char, I put him in a better place where he would be ready to chill out and watch some Paw Patrol while I went and took a shower and got ready. By the time I get in here, I'm still thinking, Einstein time, Einstein time, Einstein time. At 10 minutes till doing my show, my hair was still wet and I had no makeup on. And I'm like, Einstein time, baby, Einstein time. What happens? I got it all in. But if I had been in a place where I was like, freaking out, the time I would not have expanded. I would not have expanded time. I would have crushed it because I would have added all that extra drama into it. Does this make sense? This is where I see that true freedom is possible because you are actually in control. The possibilities are endless. And I know there's some of you who are like, yeah, but I've been doing this thing and I'm not getting the results that I want. So maybe you need to say, what else can, like, if you're still committed to the path of like, this is one that I talk about a lot. If you're doing a lot of videos where you're selling, and you're not making sales, you know that you have a sales goal in mind, right? Maybe the path to getting those sales accomplished is actually not by selling more. Maybe it's actually by tapping into what do I love and how can I share that with the world? And how can I connect with people in a different way so that I can release the objective and sit in with my intention of shifting things, of making, of bringing more joy to the world or whatever it is for you. Yes. Yeah, right. Thank you, Mary. Then I would feel bad when I got here on this live. If I had been like, by the time I got here, I would have been all frustrated. And I was thinking about that too, actually, at like 3 minutes till when I was just barely getting my stuff set here. I was thinking if I had been stressed out about it ahead of time, I would have come to this video. And so I started this video like a minute late. And I was thinking, obviously, because of the content that we're doing today, I started this video about a minute late. And I was thinking I could either be really stressed out and mad that I'm starting a minute late and then bring that energy to the video, or I could be like, guess what? I made the choice to start a minute late so that everything was prepared and ready for you. And it's going to be okay. Right? Yes. Michelle says, I was just talking about this morning with my sister. Yes, a defined need to sit and regroup again. Thank you, Molly. You're welcome, Janine. Yes, Kim, reset your possibilities to what they need to be instead of what you think they should be. Kim, seriously. And do you guys want to know a secret? Because this is something that we've been doing in a huge, I like to do these at the very end of the video because only the people who are here at the very end will know. I have a big secret that I've not put out there, but we made a giant decision on Friday in my business at the Prepared Performer that literally had Elizabeth, my project manager, I think she was pretty good about it. Kelly and I both were a little freaked out. But you have to go back in and realize, like, is this what I would love? Or am I committing to something that I think I should be committing to? And sometimes that means you have to release something that's actually doing really well for you. But you have to be able to have the space to open up to the freedom of what's possible. Because success, so Kim wants to know our secret. What? Success we can get ourselves to a place where you're at a certain level of success, but you're not actually living in like living a life of actual true freedom. Yes. Janine says something in the universe is being sent out to all of us today. Janine, I know it's being sent to you and I. Janine and I both attended this gem sale last week or this weekend, and we have amazing things in the mail on the way to us, Janine, which I'm super stoked about. Oh my gosh, so good. Angie says choosing to walk 3 miles while listening to you live. Einstein time, baby. So good. Yes, Leanne, and I love this too. No is a complete sentence. And Leanne, are you going to conference? So Leanne and I know each other through the eWomen Network, and there's a giant conference coming up. I can't remember if you're going or not, Leanne, but Sandra, our friend Sandra Yancey says that a lot. No is a complete sentence. And the more that you add that other stuff to it, the more people don't actually believe you because it's like you're being super defensive. Okay. I'm going to just tell Kim our secret because she's the only one who said she wants to know. Yay. Okay. So Tamara says, I'm so glad that you decided to do your classes earlier. This is good for me. So would you for those of you that are here right now, do you like this 9 a.m. time better? I know we do it a couple times. I mean, 1 or 2 times a month at 9 a.m. Maybe we should just switch it to 9 a.m. all the time. Let me know what you think. I don't know about the rest of this month, but I keep toying with the idea of making it earlier. Okay. It just means I got to get my booty out of bed earlier and get the kiddos to school earlier. Gracie Ruth, hello. It's so good to see you. I got my tiara at Target in the dollar section. What? Okay. Is that yes to 9 a.m. Pacific? 9 a.m. Pacific? Okay. It doesn't seem to really, even on like a holiday, it doesn't really make a change in things. And like our, from what I can see, it seems to be, it's not like all of a sudden our views go way down or something. Leanne, we will miss you at conference. Okay, now I'm just like hanging out with you. So I know, Gracie Root, look, she said it's beautiful. I'm going to take it off and show it to you. It's made out of foam. Isn't it so cute? Hello. That dollar store at Target, dude, I love it. Oh, shoot. Kim, can you usually come to the noon one? But, because do you take a lunch at noon? Is that why you can be there for the noon one? Let me know, Kim. Which one? Okay. All right. I'm going to tell you the secret. So you may know that I don't know if you know this, but the way that our business is structured, Gracie, I got it like a month ago, maybe, because I was that prepared. So Sue, I had said that I would share a secret about how we are making some shifts so that we can really live into, I'm going to show you this whole thing, live into our vision, right? And like the real impact that we want to have on our business and also on the rest of the world, on our own. If you've been on my videos before, you know I have this 3-part why thing that I do that contributes to our vision to allow us to actually stay in a positive mindset, because this thing that we decided to let go was like pulling us out of a positive mindset and bringing up way more frustration than expansion and growth. Time, it was a huge thing for time, because this one thing with what we were charging for it compared to the time that it takes to actually implement, it did not even make sense at all. Boundaries, the thing that we're letting go of is really hard to set boundaries with, because it's a really detailed personal thing that we do. And then the main thing is committing. If you want to commit to more freedom, you actually have to make a choice. And that was the thing that was the hardest, because I have several things going on. So let me explain to you how I use this system on myself on Friday. So we have, yes, and happy 4th of July for everybody. So good. So we have Tiffany, miss your face too. Good to see you here. So we have several things that we offer at the Prepared Performer. We have our Camera Confidence course, which is our main course that many of you I know are in, members of the Cam fam. It's awesome. If you want information about the Camera Confidence course, you can comment below with Camera Confidence and I will get it to you. But we have the Camera Confidence course. We have the Messenger Automation Academy, which those are things that have, I show up and do a live training once a month, and then we give support throughout the month. But it's really like a bajillion people could be in there and it would be awesome, right? Those are totally scalable. We also have some other little one-off courses that we do, which are like fun. Those happen once and then they're done. And then we also have this amazing coaching program called GLAM, which is Go Live and Monetize. So I used to do private coaching and we switched that. So now our clients who are in that get 1 private call a month, and then the rest of it is group support. So we have 3 calls that we do per week. Inside a group coaching program, there's all this accountability, and we have bring in guest experts. It's super high level, major support. It's awesome. It is a larger investment. You don't have to mortgage your house, but it's a much larger investment. We have that. And we have this program called Bot Stars, which is where we, Tony, hello, good to know. Thank you. In our Bot Stars program, they all are members of GLAM. So they have that group coaching program. And we also build out their entire Messenger bot Facebook Live system. So it's loads of work. On the backside, we plan their content with them. We build out all the bots. It's amazing. And what we're charging for it is not that much more than what I was charging when I was doing private coaching on my own. Now, I brought a team on to be able to support this. So I pay my team. And then I'm still doing some of the work, but I'm able to bring on more clients here because I have this team. Awesome. So 2 months ago, I decided that we have these bot clients. Yeah, exactly, Sherry. Holy smokes, Holly, where do you find the time? Hello. So we have these clients in that program. It's amazing. I decided that I was going to focus on only bringing people into glam. Now, the problem is that I see how awesome it is when we're doing this stuff when we're doing all of the implementation for clients. So anytime I would get on a call with someone who was interested in glam, I just kept offering them the Bot Stars program. So we kept bringing in more done for you clients, which means our work level is like, right? Mark, hello. So we decided on Friday to really follow this system and look at, like, if we want to be able to serve as many people as possible, and like I shared with you earlier, really be able to help people to bring their own unique self out into the world so that we really can change the energy of the planet. It's going to be impossible if I keep offering done for you services, because the workload, it's just not possible. Like, we have a cap where we'd have to limit out. No matter how many people I hire, it would not be possible to serve as many people as I wanted. So as of Friday, we're no longer bringing in new clients for our done for you services, which makes me super scared because it is a huge portion of our business. And we're only focused on bringing in clients into our glam group, which I'm really excited about. So we're going to be focusing all of our energy on that group and making it like the most amazing program on the entire planet. But Mark, I know, Mark, you missed all of the tips. We've been through them 17 times. Now I'm sharing a big secret. You can watch the replay. We'll be done in a second. But making that choice, like, how can you, like, is there something like that in your life that you might need to let go of, which seems like it's actually that you've hit a level of success, but it's maybe not the success that you actually want to continue growing? And how is that to admit to yourself? And here's the thing, like, if you make a choice, like when I stopped teaching voice lessons, so scary. I was a vocal coach, singing coach. Top secret was revealed. When I stopped doing that, it was super scary. But I also know at any moment I could always go back to teaching voice lessons. Like, you always have a choice. So let's say you make the choice to drop something so that you have the space to focus on something else. What? You can always go back, right? But you've got to commit, like fully commit up front so that, yeah, right. Do the Elsa, let it go, let it go. Yes. So you have to actually commit or you're never going to know. So like for me, I wasn't actually committing to glam because we kept bringing in more people into our Bot Stars program, which takes way more time. So you've got to give yourself the freedom. Hello. That's the whole point of today. And if you want the show notes, comment below with the word freedom. Yes. So good. You've got to give yourselves the freedom and you have to be brave enough to actually commit to it, which is so exciting. All right. Ariana says, I love the topic today. I was meant to be here. So good. All right. With that, I am going to say I am so grateful for you. Thank you for joining us with my little tiara on, which I might just wear for every show. Who knows? And this has been awesome. I hope you go out and have an amazing day. If you got here a little bit late, as soon as this is over, go back and watch the replay next week. As of right now, we're planning on being live at noon, but maybe I'll mix it up and we'll go back to 9 a.m. I don't know. So make sure that you pay attention to the messages from Molly bot and the BeLive bot, and we will send you updates. We always let you know what's happening here at BeLive TV. And remember also, BeLive TV is such an amazing tool. And if you go set up a broadcast today, you'll be able to do little fireworks, which is really, really fun. So, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I loved this topic and I loved sharing this with you today. And I hope that you can really put this stuff into action. Go out, see what you can let go of, see how you can really commit to your own vision, and, keep that mindset popping those bubbles, right? If you need something like a Zimble to help you to pop those bubbles, comment below with the word Zimble and I'll get you information. I could just keep talking forever, so I'm going to end this. My name is Molly Mahoney. It is my absolute joy to be here with you on behalf of BeLive TV and The Prepared Performer, helping you to unlock your inner awesome and elevate it with the magic of BeLive TV and Facebook Live. We'll see you next week.